great life. And when I got older, graduated from high school and went in the service in the U.S. Air Force for 2 years, or 4 years. But 2 years after that, I kind of did various things and went to work for IBM. Decided to try my own company at painting structures. And that was my first failure that I remember.
A failure? Wow. So how long did that last? I mean, you were
a couple of years.
Oh, okay.
And then I went to work for Caterpillar Tractor Company.
Okay.
And that's where I retired from in 1998.
Wow. So how long were you with Caterpillar?
25 years.
25 years. So you got the gold watch and stuff like that?
No,
no.
No gold watch. But I got the pension check. I got the pension check.
That's always good, though. That's a
you
plus.
bet. And so in 1980, I came out here. First time, and I went back and told everybody I knew I was going to retire in Las Vegas. So here I am. In 1998, I left Caterpillar, and we came out here and just enjoyed it ever since. I just love it here, mainly because no snow.
No snow, I'll tell you.
Very little.
You know, that's really big, because, you know, a lot of people kind of, they look at the desert and they say, you know what, it's hot and everything else, but we have no snow. Right. Which is good. So, I mean, that's, for me,
we got rain, but we got no snow.
And today, I'll tell you, we got more rain than, you know, you can shake a stick at. Man, it's amazing. So now you're out from with Caterpillar. Decided to come out here to Las Vegas. Did you just retire? Just kind of hang out? I mean, what?
I thought I was going to golf 3-4 times a week.
Okay.
Probably because I didn't put the time in to do it, but it just never grabbed me. It wasn't my thing. And they had I live in Sun City, Summerlin here, and they had a small wood shop, so I got involved with that and started making things for the grandkids and everybody, that type of thing. And that kind of filtered in when I saw Don and Charlie doing the toys, that maybe we could make this work. The first day we started making toys, there were 3 of us. Bob and Mal and I, and Bob and Mal are still making toys with me.
Wow.
Yeah, it can become habit forming. And,
sure.
Our goal that year was to make 500 toys a year for the kids in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Being the farm boy, I growing up with it. I'd like to take care of the world, but first I'd like to take care of the kids here in town.
Yeah.
And so we started that off, and lo and behold, at this point in time, we've given away over 125,000 toys.
My goodness. So I can imagine the conversations that you guys are having now. So you and the guys, you're kind of hanging out saying, well, what do you want to do? You know, just kind of I'll make a truck, I'll make a car. And so is that kind of how it went? You just kind of decide, hey, you know, we're going to, I'm trying to think of what was the thinking process that you guys had as you guys were kind of...
Well, we had all the equipment in the shop.
Yeah.
And once I saw what Don and Charlie were doing, and again, they had 6 different toys too, I just put a word out to all the people in the wood shop, this is what I want to do, save me the scrap wood, and let's see what can happen. And when I scheduled a time to do this, Mal and Bob showed up, and then it grew from there. Wow,
that is incredible. And now, was this affiliated with your church at all?
No, through the church I found out about Don and Charlie, but at first the church got involved because we needed a place to put mineral oil on the toys. That's what we coated with. Okay, so it's safe for the kids and the people applying it. And we didn't have a place to do that, so the church allowed us to use their facilities. So every first and third Monday night for 5 years, people would come down and put mineral oil on toys.
That's incredible.
And people come to church on Sundays like,
no,
what was that smell?
Mineral oil doesn't smell.
Oh, maybe not.
And for those of you who don't know, mineral oil is basically a senior laxative.
It's a senior laxative.
Right. So it's and the reason I bring that up is so that
don't eat those toys, kids.
Yeah, but they can. they can lick the toys. They aren't going to get harmed if you get it on your hands or the kids playing and get it in their mouth. It's not going to harm them. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, for those of you who are just tuning in and to the webcam here, this is This Week on D&G Radio. I'm your host Sherman Ray. In the seat, our special guest today is Rex Doty from Toys for Smiles. We've been talking a little bit about how he got started with Toys for Smiles, and it's been just interesting to hear about it. And really, this mainly started as just say, you know what, we just kind of let's see how things work, you know. And it seems like a lot of businesses, unless people really have like just this major game plan, it just kind of they kind of develop over time and they kind of grow legs. Could you have ever imagined in your life that it would be to where it is now?
If I would have known this, I wouldn't have done it. And let's put that in perspective. The reason I wouldn't have done it is because back then, if somebody said, okay, Rex, in 6 years you're going to give away over 100,000 toys, I'd have been so petrified I'd have just stopped.
Yeah.
You know, but with the good people around me, like yourselves and the volunteers and everybody, it's been an easy transition. It just keeps getting bigger, and
Yeah.
you know, it just flows.
So success, it just is. Yeah, so if most people had known the success they were going to get, they would probably feel the same way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but it just kind of grows and it keeps going and keeps going step by step.
The first in 2006 September, we made our first delivery to Catholic Charities here in town.
Okay.
And
How many did you deliver to them?
100.
Oh, 100.
Yeah.
Wow.
And what did they do? They take it out into the
Well,
community? Or?
the kids with cancer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. So you gave them to the kids in the hospitals?
Right. And that's one thing I tell a lot of people. Unlike most organizations, we do this year round, and that's a prime example. Sometimes a kid with cancer doesn't make it to Christmas.
Oh,
And if they need a smile, we want them to get it.
yes.
Oh, that's marvelous.
Yeah.
So that is incredible.
Yeah, it's just, it's a special thing. We give it, the Clark County School District gives toys away. The police officers go to classrooms and give toys to the kids.
Yeah.
And a good friend of mine is one of the officers, and he says when he walks in the room, he's the guy that shot that kid's dad. Or
Wow.
he's the guy that put her mom in jail.
Yeah.
Or took her away from, you know, that's the way that, now not only do they give them the toys, but they stay there and talk to these kids and explain to them what's going on. And when the officer leaves the room, he gets a hug.
Isn't that incredible? Now, you know, now that you mention that, that's one of those things I want to, and I think a lot of our listeners want to hear about, is if you can give us, you know, a story about a poignant moment, I mean, something that just really sticks in your mind, about a toy that's had some significance to somebody you gave. I mean, what does it bring to mind to you?
Oh gosh, there's so many, but when I first started doing this, we've given a number of toys to the Nellis Air Force Base.
Okay.
And they give, the kids take a toy, and then they send one off to their relative, whoever might be overseas, and give them a toy. And the first I go on, I got a letter from a colonel from over, you know, in Iraq.
Yes.
And he sent me a letter. He explained to me that his grandson had no idea really what was going on. His grandpa just disappeared. You know, and they trying to talk to him, work with. When he sent that toy to him through the Skype and everything else, now they had something in common that they never had before, their toys. And it brought them closer together than they've ever been. And I can't, that just chilled me.
Yeah.
Of course, back then I didn't save the letters or anything. It was just so great and passing around. And
Sure.
But, you know, things like that just make a difference.
Yeah, they really do. Something as simple as a toy.
And the other one was a lady saw me at the Tivoli, and she says, "Our son has one of your toys." And I says, "Really? Where did he get it?" With the burn center. The kid, that last year, the kid, they had a glass door in their fireplace. The kid put his hands up against the glass door.
Yes.
Just scalded him.
Scalded his little hands.
But he went to the burn center, and they were there. And they gave him a toy, and it just quieted him down and gave him peace that she said he would have never had otherwise.
It's like that universal thing, you know, that everybody understands is a toy. You don't have to explain it. You just give it to a child or give it to an adult, and the smile that comes on their face, you know, the thing like that.
Toys for smiles.
Toys for smiles, man. I'll tell you, that's awesome. Well, anyways, folks, we will be back in our next segment, and we're going to talk a little bit more with Rex Doty. About Toys for Smiles. This is This Week on DNG Radio. I'm your host, Sherman Ray. For more information about the Diversity Networking Group, go to www.diversitynetworkinggroup.com. That's diversitynetworkinggroup.com. That's just with one G. We'll be back in just a minute, folks. Stay tuned.
Clear.
Hey,
Rex, what's your email address?
Rex at toysforsmileslasvegas.org.
Toys, the number for it.
Yes.
For Smiles Las Vegas. Or I'm gonna send that picture over to you.
Great.
Called Studio.
But, you know, it reinforced the fact that
Hey, and welcome back, everybody. This is This Week on D&G Radio. I'm your host, Sherman Ray. And we've been talking with Rex Doty from Toys for Smiles. And I'm going to put a little graph for quite a while now. One of the things that you were talking about, Rex, was that you've got a need that we were talking about in the last break. And what's that need that you have?
we're looking, right now we have a warehouse that's been donated to us, and it's a wonderful place. We've been able to make a lot of toys there, but there's no heat, and then just has swamp coolers.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem we have is in the heat of the summertime, the cold of the wintertime, we lose a lot of volunteers, and we don't get them back.
Oh, that's a surprise,
Yeah,
really. Yeah. They're thinking, man, I don't know if I want to work here. Gosh, it's hot.
I mean, the old guys, they don't care, but you know, the young kids and the seniors and stuff, we want to get in there and get involved in the process.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it very difficult for them. So we're looking for somebody to share a temperature-controlled building with.
Yeah.
Toys for Smiles. We need about 3,000 square feet.
So at least 3,000.
Right.
Yeah.
And that put it together, and you know, and I know there's a lot of buildings that are empty in this town,
Oh, yeah.
but we need somebody who owns one that has the heart for kids.
Sure, sure.
And I mentioned in the break, there was a group that was going to donate this building a couple of weeks ago, but when we got there, they didn't have sprinkler systems in it.
Yeah.
One of the older buildings. But like I said, it just reinforced there are good people out there that would reach out to help us. They just don't know about us. So if everybody could just spread the word, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're talking to you out there. You've got a 3,000-foot square building,
That's it.
and you walked out in the middle of that empty warehouse and you said, I wonder how I can help kids. Well, here's your opportunity right here.
That's
If
it.
that's you, how do they contact you?
Our website is www.toys4smileslasvegas.org.
Okay, and so we've actually got the web address on here right now. And so once again, Rex, give them that information just one more time.
Okay, it's www.toys4smileslasvegas.org.
Okay.
We're a 501c3 nonprofit corporation, so the tax breaks are there. If somebody who's going to reach out and help us out. And you know, it's all about the kids. And nobody, like I mentioned earlier, we are 100% volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody gets paid a thing. We don't get gas money or anything else. It's just good people reaching out to the kids in our community, and we need people to help us help them.
Okay. Well, and Rex, now one of the things, a question I've got is, Do you do special events throughout the year? Is there some way that that you've been able to bring attention to Toys for Smiles?
Most of it's just been like on the radio shows like this and TV and newspaper and so forth. But as far as getting out there and having different functions and so forth, we're really a bunch of toy makers, and we haven't got anybody to really reach out to help us do that.
Okay.
But and I want to make sure everybody knows that we need people to come down and make these toys. We need help.
Okay.
30% of our volunteers are women, so it's not a guy thing, it's a guy and girl. You have to be over 18 to run the equipment, but no experience necessary, just a love for kids, and come on down. And the operations are so simple that anybody can do it, and if they just reach out to us, there's no schedules, come and go as you want.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. Now, where do you get your wood from?
Different cabinet makers, stair makers, furniture makers in town. We've really been blessed. The Master Brand Cabinets had to close their facility here in town last January, and they left town, went back to the headquarters in Ohio or Indiana, and left us with 2 semi-loads of wood.
2 semi-loads?
Yes.
Wow. So that keep you busy for at least a week.
Yeah. we're probably, yeah, if that's all we had, we'd probably, or our wood level is probably looking at maybe February.
Okay.
And we'll be out of wood again.
Really?
So I hear 3 calls here. I hear a call for a building, a call for volunteers, and also a call for somebody that could market as well, and help them get the word out that Toys for Smiles is out there looking to benefit kids. So, you know, if you fit one of those 3 categories, get on that website and let them know, let Rex know, so that we can get this charity up and doing what it's supposed to do.
That's great.
And when I mentioned the wood we need, it has to be hardwood.
Okay.
A lot of the construction wood, the 2x4s and so forth, are pine, and it's too soft. The kids would just chew them up. Yeah.
No kids that I know of. So kids are chewing on them like little.
So we
like
need
little
hardwoods
babies.
like oak, cherry, walnut, that type of thing.
Okay. And so, so the regular construction wood, 'cause that's what I was thinking about too, that you go to the construction sites and just grab some of that wood off there, but that wood's a little too soft for you.
Right. Their vendors are the ones we have contacts with. And I'm sure there's wood organizations out in town that I am not even aware of, that if they're listening, you know, and can help us out, well, we'd sure appreciate it.
Okay. Now, if you're just tuning in, this is This Week on D&G Radio. I'm your host, Sherman Wright. And in the chair today, we've got Rex Doty. He's the founder and president of Toys for Smiles. We've been talking a little bit about some of the things that they actually do. There are some needs that Rex and Toys for Smiles needs, and that's an air-conditioned, at least 3,000 square foot, and sprinkled
and
building.
And heat.
And heat, yeah, air conditioning and heat, you know. So a facility, you need wood, and it'd be great just to get the word out a little bit more about what Toys for Smiles does. And so this is a great opportunity, folks. It's a great opportunity for you, the business owner, you, the person, the property owner, to really help out kids in Las Vegas. This is a great opportunity.
And it's so rewarding to be able to do this for the kids in town here, but that's only half of it. The other half is the relationships that are built by the people making the toys, because they all come there with a good heart for kids and wanting to volunteer. They become best friends.
Yeah.
And it's just unbelievable. I look at people who are, and not necessarily just Toys for Smiles, but anybody that's laid off. Why don't you reach out for 4 or 5, 6 hours a week and go help a nonprofit, get involved, and at the same time you're networking. You don't know who you're going to run into.
You never know. Now, that's an interesting point you bring up. Now, have you seen your volunteer rate go up during, basically the depression or the recession started about 2009 or 2008. Have you seen your volunteer rate go up during that time, or has it actually kind of gone down, or what?
It's gone up. It really has. It's
Okay.
gone up. Yeah, and as far as once again, we go back to the temperature thing. It goes up and down with the seasons. You know?
With the season, yeah, the summertime, that's it,
Yeah,
it's gone.
yeah. When it's real hot and everything, and in the wintertime, I didn't know this from the Midwest. I didn't know they made buildings without heaters in them.
Oh, yeah.
We were donated this building in September. In October, I go looking for the heat switch. Wait a minute, there isn't one.
It's heat in Las Vegas.
I know we have built-in heat.
And what's crazy is the concrete walls,
Mhm.
when they get cold, I mean, they stay cold.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
People who aren't from around here think Las Vegas is always warm in the winter. Well, it gets cold, and
It's pretty cold. That's
Yeah.
it.
And I say that's, getting the young kids down there and getting them involved is
Mhm.
really rewarding, because then they get a sense of giving, and they just carry it through life, so.
Yeah, sure.
And that's what we, it's all about, helping others do what we do and getting the rewarding feeling of going on in life and continuing with it, and it works.
Yeah. Well, it seems to me that this would be a great opportunity for you guys to start a mentorship program. Because there's a lot of people, and I've heard of this. Linda and I, the lovely Mrs. Ray, who's off camera here, but she's in the room right now. So hello, Linda.
Hello.
And next to her is actually D.W. Grant. He's the digital editor of Nexions.com. And say hello, D.W., because you've heard his voice. But one of the things that we do is we watch a show called Chopped. That's one of our favorite shows we watch.
Yeah.
And one of the guys who won Chopped, they asked him, they said, well, how did you get into cooking? And he says, you know what, my life was going downhill and everything else like that. And there was a program that actually was for people to learn how to become cooks. And so that's how he became a cook, is through this program. And has it been ever something that's ever been brought up for you guys?
No.
No? Yeah. So it might be something interesting, because there's a lot of people out there who they don't know that there's that the joy that you've got. So you guys are being kind of selfish now.
Yeah.
Keeping all that joy to yourself.
Well, that brings up the question: when you go to volunteer, are you actually carving the toys?
Mhm.
Yeah, you actually, we make them. We got a scrap wood, we put stencil a toy on the wood and
Yeah.
cut it out with a bandsaw and sand it and drill the holes in it, put the wheels and
So
axles.
people don't necessarily handle the knives; they can come and just sand, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Well, that's cool.
What a great opportunity.
And what the reason we need so many people to help with that is when we need the toys to be made with wheels and axles, so we can get the young kid and disabled people and so forth in there to put the mineral oil on.
Yeah.
So we need more help making the toys.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Well, Rex, once again, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, give them your contact information. Now, how would they get a hold of you?
Okay, the website is up there, www.toysforsmileslasvegas.org, and that 4 is the number 4. Let me throw out my personal cell phone here if you want to call me. 702-218-4582. Feel free to call me anytime and come on down and help us out.
Well, fantastic. And Rex, we have just thoroughly enjoyed ourselves today.
Yeah.
On the show today, we had Rex Doty from Toys for Smiles. If you want to get a hold of them, once again, the web address is on your screen right now. It's www.toys4, as in the number 4, smileslasvegas.org, and you can get a hold of Rex and enjoy yourselves making some toys. This has been This Week on DNG Radio, our weekly call-in show that just highlights businesses from around the Las Vegas Valley. I'm your host, Sherman Ray, the founder and president of the Diversity Networking Group. We'd like to let you know if you're ever in Las Vegas, come on out and visit us. We've got a couple of networking groups that we've established here in town. We just started a third one now. It's called the Christian Business Connection. But if you'd like to get a hold of us, just go to www.diversitynetworkinggroup.com. That's diversitynetworkinggroup.com, and you can get a hold of us. That's just with 1 G though, folks. We've got a brand new website that's going to be up and running today. It should be cool. Philo Veracity Web Design has been working on it for months now, and so we're really excited about that. Also, we've got an event that I'll be emceeing tomorrow, and it's going to be over at the Desert Shores, and so should be a great opportunity. I've got the graphic up right now. It's called the Business Networking Mixer, and you can, if you'd like to come out to that, it's going to be a great opportunity for you to meet some great folks over on Lake Jacqueline, over Desert Shores. Once again, this has been Sherman Ray. This has been This Week on DNG Radio, folks. We will see you next week at 10:30. Be sure to get the podcast of this right after the show at www.thecityfm.com, and just scroll down the page a little bit and look for This Week on DNG Radio. We will see you again next week, folks. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.